Hey guys, Inder this side from 24/7 Everything. Hope you all are doing great. We are again back with another video and this time it's on Vivo V20. So let's begin with that. So in this particular video we'll be going to review the update with the version number 1.70.15. So let's begin with that. So firstly let me show you the initial I would say information with respect to update and so on. So again Android 11 with the security patch level of November 1, 2020. Then build number is 1.70.15 and compile time or compile date is December 22. Apart to this, few users have already confirmed that they are getting update for the 1.70.22 or 24 for this particular handset. So as and when it will be available, I'll surely be creating videos on that as well. But by this video, you will surely be able to know the, I would say, if and buts. So let's begin with that. So firstly, we'll be focusing on a security parameter. So it will cover up all the biometrics and so on. So firstly, be it PIN, password, pattern or swipe, all are working absolutely fine. You won't be seeing any issue with that. Apart to that, be it fingerprint scanner or face unlock, those are also working fine. So let me show you the demonstration of face unlock. So you can see it is working absolutely fine. Let me do one more time. So it's working absolutely fine. So let me do the unlocking by fingerprint scanner. So it is also quite fast. So with respect to under display authentication or in display authentication, whatsoever terminology you use at your side, it is quite fast, but 9 out of 10 time it will be working absolutely fine. I always give a, I would say, like in case of 1% of 1 out of 10, because sometimes your finger might be sweated or maybe your screen would be having some sort of, I would say, dirty capture and so on. So this can always be a part in terms of failure and so on in display or under display technology. So after security section, now let's move to the storage section. So storage section is working absolutely fine, be it for internal storage or external storage like SD card and so on. And apart to this, USB preferences where you can connect your phone using like type USB-C and USB with your PC or laptop. It is also working fine and able to transfer data to and from like from mobile to laptop and from laptop to mobile, absolutely fine. Apart to this OTG cable or I would say OTG dongle and so on, so I wasn't able to test it at this moment because I'm not having a dongle with which can be like type USB to micro I would say OTG and so on. So once it will be available, I'll be surely discussing those part in my next videos or next update videos and so on. So after storage section, now let's move to the very vital part, that is battery section. So here firstly we'll be discussing charging time. So it took nearly about 55 to 57 minutes to fully charge the phone from 0 to 100%. So it can always vary. Sometime it was taking 55 minutes and sometime it is taking 57 minutes at my side. And I've also noted down the consolidated time break for this. So for the very first 25% it took 11 minutes, for next 25% up till 50 it took 9 minutes, for 50 to 75% it took 10 minutes, and for the last 75 to 100% it took 25 minutes. So overall 55 to 57 minutes breakup. So apart to this, now let's discuss the ideal battery drainage. So again I have noted out this on a like on 2 different days. On day first it was showing 2 to 3% over a span of 9 to 10 hours, and again on day second it showed me 1 to 2% over a span of 8 to 9 hours. So basically Vivo can work on this to optimize more, like 1% battery drainage I would say is satisfactory over a span of 8 to 9 hours. But again, if someone is facing 5 to 10% or more than that, then I will really suggest to look for the installed app at your side, because sometimes a buggy app or a app which is consistently checking your mobile data, Wi-Fi connection and so on, or other things can hamper your battery age, battery consumption, battery, I would say, backup and so on. So after this, now let's open the battery, like I would say battery consumption with respect to the gaming session. So for that, I'm firstly going to open Call of Duty game. So I have already opened this particular Call of Duty game, I would say 5 to 10 minutes ago, so that I can show you the RAM management as well. So this can also be corrected during this particular video. So I've already opened audio and graphic settings, where I was using very high graphic quality and very high frame rate. So again, if you are familiar with my videos, so you know that what I'm going to discuss in this particular video. So I usually play 2 to 3 different time 1 hour of gameplay for this particular game so that I can note down the analysis. So for a one hour of gameplay, this particular update took nearly about 16 to 17% of battery. And a part of this, I've also noted down the temperature reading. So before starting the gameplay, the temperature was 23 degree, and as soon as I completed at 1 hour of gameplay, the temperature was 32 degree. So a part of this gameplay was butter smooth. I haven't faced a single lag. There was no problem at all. So after Call of Duty, now let's move to the Free Fire section or Free Fire game. So again, I have opened the settings section where I am showing you basic, where it is showing me graphic quality and so on. So I haven't, I would say, touched any settings after installing this update. It's all same whenever you will be installing this on your phone. So on the basis of available spec, it is showing us ultra graphic and so on. So again, for this particular video as well, or I would say game as well, I have analyzed by playing the 1 hour of gameplay, like nearly about 2 to 3 different times. So again, on an average, it took nearly about 8 to 9% of battery consumption for a 1 hour of gameplay. And a part of this temperature readings were like before starting the gameplay, it was showing 17, and as soon as I completed 1 hour of gameplay, it was 24. And aside to that, gameplay on this particular update for Fire, I would say Free Fire was absolutely fine. There was no lag, no issue at all. And there is a good thing that with compared to Call of Duty, the heating is lesser. So again, this particular game is also very light as compared to Call of Duty. So the things are averages on, I would say, on that particular measure or so on. So after battery section, now let's move to the sound section. So sound is really very good in on this particular phone or with respect to this particular available update. So I haven't faced any issue, and even this is just 2-month-old phone, so there is no problem at all. And even I'm just using it from last 14 to 20 days and so on. So after sound section, now let's move to the Bluetooth and devices. So in Bluetooth, I have tested two things. One is Bluetooth and another is screencasting or screen mirroring. So Bluetooth is working absolutely fine, be it for file transfer or audio via Bluetooth devices. So there is no problem with that. Aside to that, smart mirroring or screencasting is also working fine on either Intel based laptop and or AMD too. And apart to this OTG pen drive, like I've already covered that, I was unable to test it. So as and when I'll be testing, I'll surely be posting the review for that as well in my upcoming videos. So after this, now let's move to the network and internet connection. So here, firstly, we'll be talking about Wi-Fi calling. So it's available for both Jio and Airtel, and it is working absolutely fine. Aside to that, native video calling, it is also available for both Airtel and Jio. But at my side, I was only able to call Jio to Jio and Airtel to Airtel in terms of native video, whereas one of my Samsung phone does allow me to call from Jio to Airtel and Airtel to Jio and so on. So not sure is this a bug or it is done by purposely and so on. And aside to that, call recorder is also available and it is working absolutely fine. You won't be seeing any issue with that. The last part in network and internet connection is related to status of Wi-Fi connectivity, mobile internet, calls and SMS. Both the, or I would say all the four things are working absolutely fine without any glitch, without any issue. So it will be really a very butter smooth experience in terms of network and internet. So after network and internet, now let's move to the quick settings section. So in quick setting, all the minor, major, simple, advanced, whatsoever settings have been available or provided by Vivo in quick settings section are working absolutely fine. You won't be seeing any problem or you won't be able to say that why this setting is not available and so on. So like you can see smart mirroring or screencasting, both are working fine. Dark theme toggle is also working fine like they have provided. Then you can see the setting for the flashlight and it is working absolutely fine. Aside to that, screen recording, gaming mode, then capture and so on. So in capture, this option I really like. So basically it provides us like 4 different options where you can either do screen recording, funny screenshot, rectangular, long and so on. And aside to that, you can also view a few other settings as well, like Vivo share, then nearby share and so on. So everything is working fine. You won't be seeing any issue with those. So after quick settings, now let's move to the Play Protection certification. So I'm just going to open Play Store. So inside Play Store, you will be moving to settings section, and in settings section, you can see devices certified or Play Protection certification banner. So basically in stock ROM, it is always certified. It's always like devices not certified in case of custom ROMs. So I always touch this point in every review so that you can search about this and can get more knowledge or information on this as well. So after play protection certification, now let's move to the status of camera 2 API. So the best part is that level 3 support is available by default whenever you will be purchasing this particular phone, even after this particular update as well. So apologies from my side, till now I haven't tested any Gcam from my side. So once I'll be testing, I'll surely be creating a video on that as well. Aside to that, status of White One certification. So by default it is showing us L1. So basically using this we can stream any HD content, be it on Amazon Prime, Netflix and so on. So after this, now let's move to the benchmark score. So I'm just going to open Antutu benchmarks. So these are the overall scores, like 2,86,584, and below ones are the consolidated on the basis of CPU, GPU, memory management, UX and so on. So from now onwards, for the next video, I'll be using these as in benchmarks, so that by this way we'll be able to know that is there a drastic change in terms of new update in terms of good or bad and so on. But usually it never the same whenever you will be running this on two different devices as well. Now on the basis of Geekbench score, or I would say Geekbench 5 score, these are the on the basis of computation, or I would say CPU computation. So single core score is 555, multi-core score is 1701. Aside to that, on the basis of computation is engine using OpenCL API, it is showing us 1249. Using Vulkan API, it is showing us 1167. So again, the same thing, if there will always be a minor change in terms of updates for the benchmark scores, then it's hardly matter. But if it will be a drastic change, then we can say that whether this update is good or bad. Now, apart of this RAM management, we have already covered it when I have opened the Call of Duty while discussing the battery consumption with respect to gaming. So I haven't seen any issue with the RAM management overall. So usually I would say if you will be playing any graphic centric game or memory consuming game and so on, like Call of Duty and so on, they will always be in the memory for at least 8 to 10 minutes. After that, OS might flush it so that it can compensate that particular available space to other apps to run it properly. So before I'll be wrapping up this particular video, I just want to give you the overall review score for this particular update, that is 1.70.15. So basically 95 out of 100 is my overall review score. So Vivo can really optimize the battery drainage related issue. So maybe let's wait till the time we'll be seated with the 1.70.22 or 24. So we'll be surely creating that, like I would say, new videos on that as well, and we'll be surely discussing the analysis as well. So this was all from my side related to the review of the 1.70.15 update on Vivo V20. Hope you like this video. If you really like this video, kindly share this with your friends and family. And apart from this, please subscribe to our channel, because this will surely motivate us and boost us to create more videos like this in the coming future. Finally, it's the time to sign off now. Bye for now. Thanks.